So today, really happy to welcome to our program the Executive Director of the Massachusetts Developmental Disabilities Council here in Quincy, Dan Shannon, to chat a little bit about that organization and about the state's VAX bus that's coming to the city. Mr. Shannon, nice to virtually meet you.
You too, Joe. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. I've worked in Quincy a very, very long time and have to admit I had not heard of your organization. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. The Massachusetts Developmental Disability Council, we work to better support people with developmental disabilities and families within Massachusetts. Our mission is to provide opportunities for people to enhance their independence, productivity, and inclusion. And primarily, the two main focuses of the work that we do is a lot of training and education about systems and supports, but we also work with state and local policymakers on how to improve the supports that they provide to families. We've existed for, actually, I do believe this is our 50th year.
Wow, okay.
And we just recently moved to North Quincy, which is probably why we're just beginning this introduction now. So.
Okay, well, it's about time then, and this won't be our last time. Can you maybe talk about some past policy successes that we might be familiar with?
Sure. It's in so many areas where it affects people with disabilities. The council's been involved. A recent bill passing expanding the service eligibility for the Department of Developmental Services to include people with autism and Down syndrome. There have been bills around accessibility that we've been involved with. Most recently, the background checks for direct support professionals working with people with disabilities. So it's a number of areas. I would say a lot focused on service provision, a lot focused on education, special education, and a lot focused on civil rights.
Okay. And how do your clients connect with you? How do you connect with your clientele and provide those services?
Well, we have a vast network of advocacy organizations throughout the state that we work with, organizations like the ARC of Massachusetts, and Mass Advocates Standing Strong, Mass Families. I could go down the list. And so most of our outreach is done through those organizations. So part of our role is that we help to connect the organizations and the people that they serve with government, because we very much believe that the greatest impact on public policy occurs through self-advocacy. Getting people to the State House to talk at hearings about how a potential bill might impact their lives is critical.
Sure. What specifically have you done in terms of the pandemic, and how has it, impacted folks with disabilities?
Well, it's been, I would say, a difficult time for all of us. I think in particular for people with disabilities, especially those that live on their own or live at home with family members. The council back in April of last year undertook an initiative to actually get PPE, protective equipment, out to families. I can tell you a little anecdote about personally standing in my kitchen with masks, gloves, and envelopes, and packing them up and addressing them and bringing them to the post office. Okay. So we had a number of our staff. We're a small group. There's only like 8 of us, but we had our staff. We worked with a number of organizations to secure, procure, I guess would be the correct word, masks that we could get out to families. But I think the shift, of course, once the vaccine became available, was to make that shift. Now we see our job is connecting people to the vaccines and connecting vaccines to the people. That's our focus.
Right, which brings us to the VAX bus, which is coming to Quincy, right?
Yes, Thursday, August 12th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. At our offices at 108 Myrtle Street in North Quincy. The whole VAX bus, we're hosting it, trying to help the state reach as many people as we can, particularly families with disabilities and direct support staff and so forth. But, outside of our disability focus, we really want to reach as many people in the Quincy area as we can, and particularly communities of color. So we will be sending out flyers. We've sent some out. We'll be sending more out, translated into multiple languages. Hopefully that'll all fall into place in the next couple of days. Myrtle Street, it's right off of Newport Ave in North Quincy. Got plenty of parking. It's under a 10-minute walk from the North Quincy T station, and I would say probably about a half a mile from the Ponset River Bridge. So the location is good from multiple areas. I'll also tell you that we have some giveaways, but I won't tell you what they are. If you show up and get vaccinated, we'll have some prizes for you.
Okay, there's a little tease to get folks to come over. What are the logistics of it, Mr. Shannon? How will it actually work?
Well, we are there to support people to come to the Vax Bus. Department of Public Health actually operates the vaccine themselves.
Okay.
And it's a very simple process where it would be no different than going to a clinic, or one of the larger sites that they had for people to get vaccinated. They'll register you in, they'll give you your shot, and you are good to go. And they've scheduled a follow-up for Thursday, September 2nd, for people to be able to come back and get the second shot. So they do have the choice for adults anyway, between the Pfizer vaccine, and they do the Johnson & Johnson, which is the one shot if people prefer.
Okay, and that one I think is only for folks 18 and older.
18 and older, that's correct. Thank you for reminding me.
Sure. Pfizer, I know right now is for 12 and up, and they're seeking authorization for even younger kids, but that hasn't happened yet. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So, and just to be clear, no cost, no insurance, nothing like that?
No cost, no insurance needed. You will get a card that says you've been vaccinated, and and as I said, we will help people through. It's a pretty quick process, and when you come out the other end, we'll have some prizes to take home with you.
Okay, yeah. Do they need to bring anything with them or pre-register in advance?
There is not a requirement for pre-registration. You can just show up.
Okay.
And we do have a pre-registration site. I can send. It'll be part of the information that I send out, and you can post it for people. My memory doesn't recall the exact address, and
okay.
You know how easy it is to get lost on the internet. So
yes,
I don't want to risk it. But yeah, they can. There is no cost and no pre-registration required. Just come on down.
Okay, very good. Good to know. And again, nothing to show in terms of identification or anything?
Do not believe so, no.
Okay, good to know. Is there only one Vax bus? Do you know? Does the state just have one that travels around?
I believe it's a single bus, and it travels all over the state. It's been out, out way out in Springfield and up north, and we did notice that it's been to other cities along the South Shore, in Bedford, Brockton, but it had not been to Quincy, so that's why we approached them about setting one up.
Okay, very good. I know that it has been met in some locations with some protesters. Are you concerned about that at all?
No, I would be surprised. And, the bottom line is we trust the science, and people need to be vaccinated. And I think we're learning more and more each day that that's the key. And so we're going to push for that. And people certainly are entitled to their opinion, but we're there to help the people who want to be vaccinated.
Sure. And I'm assuming the bus itself is handicapped accessible, yes?
I hope so. But if there are, for people with disabilities, if there are concerns relative to the bus, they will accommodate their needs. So we will get vaccinated one way or another. Yeah. Okay,
good to know. And is there a limit on the number of people that you can serve?
No, it's open from 10 to 2. And if people are still waiting at 2 o'clock, they will stay until they've served everybody.
Okay, very good. Good to know as well. How would you kind of, rate Quincy, Mr. Shannon, in terms of its friendliness to people with disabilities?
I think that the city makes a great effort. I do recall there was a period of time when we were actually in Quincy Center, but we move around a lot. So. Where there was an issue concerning handicap space, and the city was very accommodating with us. Within a matter of weeks, they had, I forget the name of the street, but near the office, they had come down and designated a couple of spaces to be handicap spaces, because the issue where people couldn't get to the services that were available in that building.
Oh, okay. Very
So,
good.
would say yes. That he's been very accommodating.
Sure, that's good to know. And what about, would you say, the state in general, compared to, other states of similar size and makeup?
Well, Massachusetts clearly is one of the more progressive states when it comes to supporting people. I would just say of all makes.
Hmm.
You know, there are always issues, but that things can be improved. I've found, particularly under this administration, and actually I've been at the council for many, many years, so I think I'm under my fifth or sixth administration, and all of them have been very amenable to the work that we've been doing in the efforts to improve services and supports for people.
Sure.
If you ask me to make a simple statement, I would say Massachusetts is a great place to live if you're a person with a disability.
Okay.
It's not perfect,
Right.
but it's good. Yeah.
One of the main issues, I'm sure you're well aware, for folks with disabilities is transportation, right? Is to getting to places where they need to go. Yes, you roll your eyes because, yeah.
Well, that was one of our concerns when we were determining our location. So what we have done, although we as a small entity, we can't address the transportation issues ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's much bigger than all of us. But one of the things we can do, particularly for this event, is help by reimbursing the costs for people to attend, not only for transportation, and that can be mileage, it can be the T, it can be taxi, Lyft, whatever.
Okay.
We'll also reimburse the cost if a person with a disability has to bring a personal service attendant with them.
Oh,
we will cover the cost for that person as well.
okay. So that alone is a huge outreach. Yeah.
Well, it's the best way for us to address the transportation issue. We know it's difficult. We know it can be expensive. The least we can do is try to help out with that.
Okay, good to know. So again, if you can maybe just recap the VAX bus information.
Thursday, August 12th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 108 Myrtle Street in North Quincy. All are invited. Pre-registration is not required. Just come on down.
Okay, and then the follow-up second shot.
Yeah, the follow-up is on Thursday, September 2nd, also 10 to 2.
Okay, that's for folks who get the Pfizer 2-shot vaccine.
Correct.
And how do the prizes get distributed, Mr. Shannon? How's that going to work?
When you come out the other side, having had your vaccine, you can come pick it up.
Oh, so it's instant gratification. Okay.
Yes. Right. And there's also, the state itself has various contests for people who use the Vax bus. Not only there's the Vax Millions that everybody's talking about, but I also know that there's a drawing for some concerts at TD Garden that people are eligible for if they come to the Vax bus.
Oh, okay. There you go. Now that live events are back now, so there's something to look forward to as well.
Exactly.
Anything else you'd like to share about the Mass Developmental Disabilities Council or the VAX bus right now?
Well, all I'm going to say is we have a goal to get as many people as possible into that bus on those dates. And so I encourage people to come on down and it'll be quick. It's easy. I won't say painless, but and it'll be great for yourself and for your community. As they say, help your neighbors, get vaccinated.
Okay, and this is not just for Quincy residents, correct?
Nope. Anybody in the area. Actually, anybody anywhere in Massachusetts technically can come. We are advertising it, statewide.
Sure.
Again, for individuals with disabilities and family members, it doesn't matter to us where you're coming from. We will reimburse your travel expenses.
Okay, good to know. How do folks learn more about your organization?
If they go to mass.gov/MDDC, that'll bring them to our website. We also have Facebook and Twitter, which they can access from our website. So,
excellent.
or look us up.
Yes, use your favorite search engine, as I like to say, right?
Yes, exactly.
Google us. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah. No more phone books unless you want to sit on them. That's about the only thing they're used for anymore. Great to talk to you. I hope you have a successful event. Hopefully we've helped get the word out for you a little bit here at QATV. And if we can do anything more, please let us know.
Great. My thanks to you and QATV for giving us this opportunity. Take care and be well.
You're very welcome. Thank you. You too.